Hey boys. So yeah, let's get back to the fun stuff. So as I said, I'll give you at the beginning just something I can't make an entire video about, and I think that's mostly going to be like a tour around the shop. But anyway, let's start here. So these, when I was a kid, you could go to a gumball machine, put in a quarter, and one of these little mini helmets would come out. And I never had all of them. I usually couldn't even get a Minnesota Vikings one because you'd get whatever came out. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember gumball machines, but you'd get whatever came out. And it occurred to me, now that I'm older, I had a dream I'd get a full set someday, and that was when I was, I don't know, 12 years old. And it occurred to me a couple years ago, well, hell, you can just buy a whole set. You can go on eBay. I want to point out a few things. This is the collection from this essentially the 70s, before or right after the Seahawks and Buccaneers expansion. So you can see that those are all in order from left to right. That's the AFC West, and then over on the right, that's the NFC West, so NFC East. At any rate, you can see the Buccaneers with their old helmet. They were in the NFC at that time. You can see the Patriots have their old logo. The Bengals, they used to just have Bengals written on the side. The Falcons, they used to have a red helmet, and you can see the Houston Oilers here, which is now the Tennessee Titans, the old Denver Broncos logo. Anyway, that's something I got. That's something I was able to get when I was young. So the question you asked me today is about my cars when I was in high school. I had two cars in high school. I had a Fiat 124 Sport Coupe, which sounds pretty sexy, an Italian sport coupe. It wasn't a sexy car at all. I paid $450 for it. It drove. It had the frame was rusted through, the bottom was rusted through. Next to the driver's seat, when I went around a corner, it would go chung, because the two pieces were rubbing against each other. Oh, what a piece of shit that was. But it had a hole in the bottom, and I'm not proud of this, but I would drop my trash through there as I was driving along. You can't throw it out. I didn't want to throw it out my window. Somebody'd see me, so I just drop it through the little hole down there, like gum wrappers or crushed soda can or something like that. This here behind me is, as it says, a 1968 Plymouth GTX. Your Uncle Alex bought that car. Not sure how much he paid for it. Didn't have an engine in it. So I bought that in 1982, I think. So it was only a 14-year-old car at that point, which boggled my mind when I look back on it. But he bought this car, didn't have an engine. He ended up buying a Chrysler station wagon that had a 440 in it. He took he had this towed, and he drove the other one to a mechanic shop, and they took the 440 out of one, put it in the GTX, and so it was a GTX with a 440. I love this car. I rebuilt the engine in it one summer. Took it out. We took it out by hand. Me and a buddy of mine. We took the intake manifold off. We took the heads off to lighten it. It was still probably every bit of 300 pounds. That was a big engine. But we got it out. We rolled it into the back of his. We rolled it over the fender into his trunk, which he pulled his car up next to me. Rolled it into the trunk, took it to his dad's shop, and there we stayed all summer. Every weekend we'd go there and work on rebuilding that engine, which was really cool. I love that car. Had it until I got in an accident. I was going to make a left, and a guy ran it was already red. I had to go, and he ran through and he crumpled the front fender. It still drove, didn't bend the frames, kind of messed it up a little bit. And after a while, it just stopped running. I don't remember the circumstances. That was handy. I don't know why I didn't fix it. I don't remember what was wrong with it, but I parked it in Nana and Grandpa's carport as I was living someplace else in an apartment. I was 18 years old, living in an apartment that you couldn't have a car that didn't run sitting there. Grandpa one day told me, you got to get rid of that car. And so I tried to find someone who would buy it. That car that didn't run with a crumpled front fender, selling today, even with a motor that didn't match, I would get $20,000 for that car right now. I sold this for $75. Oh, it's the biggest mistake of my life. Really, honestly, I will tell you that is probably the biggest mistake I've ever made. Not because it's worth so much money, but just because I love that car and I wish I still had it. It looked just like this one, red with the black stripes down here and the black top. God, that's a beautiful car.
and I miss it. I miss it to this day. Loved it. It was fast. It was loud. Gosh, and had a good stereo in it, which got stolen at some point. And I don't think I ever replaced it. The other car, never owned this car. I mentioned in one of the earlier videos that I would talk about this car. This is the McLaren MP44. I didn't look up the year. Of course, it would, of course, the next year be an MP45 and MP46. That's MP4/4. MP stands for McLaren something. I don't know. They all number the cars like that. Mitchell, you know that from watching Formula One. With the Mercedes-Benz is like an MB75, an MB76, RB12, the Red Bull car, RB13, like that. Anyway, that's the MP44. Ayrton Senna drove this car. So did Alain Prost. They won championships in this car. I love the colors, the livery on this car. They had this same sort of livery for I think 5 or 6 years. Just gorgeous. It's a gorgeous, beautiful car. Never a better looking car than this one. So fast, so well put together. You talk to any F1 fan who's been around a while, and a lot of them will agree with you. This was the finest car F1 ever produced. This is not actually Ayrton Senna's autograph, but that's Ayrton Senna's printed on there. He's been dead for a long time. But yeah, those are the cars. The Fiat 124 Sport Coupe and the 1968 Plymouth GTX, which I love so much. That Fiat, though, that got me around. I liked it, $450. That might be, I don't know, $700 today. I don't know. Love you guys.